Hi, the year is 2021 and nearly 40% of the world still does not have stable access to the internet. For a large number of them, the reason is that they don't have access to the infrastructure necessary to get online. But that's about to change with Elon Musk company SpaceX. This video is all about the Starlink internet. The main idea of SpaceX behind this project is to benefit people of Earth and raise funds for Mars exploration. These benefits include the world's most advanced broadband internet system. If you think about it in terms of the technology adoption life cycle, change is inevitable. A massive influx of new users joining the globalized digital network will redefine the meaning of digital life. Assuming Musk succeeds, the world will be significantly impacted by adding nearly half the world's population to the web. So what is Starlink? Starlink Internet is one of the most advanced internet service providers. It is a project of an American private company named SpaceX. It is a collection of satellites that organize in a proper formation which may be called mega constellation, as they may include 12,000 satellites orbiting the Earth. One of the main highlights about this project is that satellites orbit very close to Earth, around 340 miles, that is low enough altitude to pull down non-operational satellites so that they don't become space junk. What is the purpose of Starlink? The world currently has a population of nearly 7.8 billion people. A little under half of them do not have regular internet access. Those without access are disproportionately low income and non-English speaking regions of the world. Despite this lack of access, the data indicate that although there is limited access in these regions, there does exist an appetite for connectivity. This is showcased by a significant surge in mobile broadband use over the last few years. As Starlink provides access and the remaining 40% of the global population comes online, the fundamental cultural makeup of the internet will change. When was it started? Product development began in 2015. Two prototype test flight satellites were launched in February 2018. Additional test satellites and 60 operational satellites were deployed in May 2019. Then on September 2020, SpaceX launched up to 60 satellites at a time, aiming to deploy 1,440 of the 260 kg spacecraft to provide near global service by late 2021 or 2022. SpaceX started a private beta service in northern United States by August 2020 and a public beta in October 2020, service beginning at high latitudes between 44 degrees and 52 degrees north. On 15th October 2019, the United States Federal Communications Commission submitted filings to the International Telecommunication Union on SpaceX's behalf to rearrange spectrum for 30,000 additional Starlink satellites to supplement the 12,000 Starlink satellites already approved by the FCC. So now let's think, how will it change the world and internet? Providing 3.5 billion with access to internet will lead to massive changes in digital culture. A massive influx of new users joining the globalized digital network will redefine the meaning of digital life. The world will be significantly impacted by adding nearly half the world's population to the web. As the entire world gains access to the internet, we will see a wave of cultural change to pre-existing digital communities, as well as the formation of new digital ecosystems. The economic engine that is the internet will provide new forms of prosperity to billions of people and fundamentally alter the traditional power dynamics of the world. Some of the significant changes, be like the digital culture, will change as regardless of the predominant language of the internet. It's clear that a cultural shift will also take place as the global population comes online. New people joining global communities from developing locations will bring considerably different worldviews, and new business opportunities will arise as the internet becomes available to the second half of the world, there is no doubt that massive business opportunities will explode. We can expect to see growth in easy to access programs for upskilling individuals as they gain internet access. The connection of global populations will also present interesting labor opportunities. Perhaps most importantly, there is an opportunity to educate newly online people on how to become independent individuals. There will be many more changes and impacts in the coming time. How will it work? Starlink satellites will sit closer to the earth to reduce latency and use lasers to boost internet speeds. Right now, rural areas face challenges when it comes to getting internet access because of the massive cost of infrastructure. That means the cost of digging trenches, laying cables or fiber, and even dealing with property right disputes. But Starlink satellite will beam an internet signal directly to a gateway or user terminal on the ground. There's much less infrastructure needed to get that internet signal to rural homes. To top it off, SpaceX says its Starlink internet will be faster and have less latency than current satellite internet, as it will communicate with 4 other satellites using lasers. That means they'll beam data across the globe at almost the speed of light, a speed that only fiber optic internet comes close to matching. How much will Starlink internet cost? Current beta testers reported an equipment cost of $499 for the antenna and router, and the monthly service fee of around $80 per month, which is priced at a price if not lower than similar speed broadband plans in most countries. SpaceX recently presented the Federal Communications Commission Starlink Internet Performance Test, showing it was capable of download speeds of 103 Mbps along with upload speeds of 42 Mbps and a latency of around 18 milliseconds. It is expected that there will be gigabit speeds on offer, meaning up to 1 Gbps internet speeds with a fairly low latency of up to 25 milliseconds. How much will it cost to build Starlink tech? If completed in 2027, Starlink will consist of nearly 12,000 satellites, 6 times the number of all operational spacecraft now in orbit. The goal is to blanket the Earth with high speed, low latency, and affordable internet access. Even partial deployment of Starlink could benefit the financial sector and bring pervasive broadband internet to rural and remote areas. Though completing the project may cost $10 billion or more, according to the sources, and the company documents suggest Starlink's revenue could peak at more than $30 billion a year. How to sign up for the Starlink service? The Starlink beta is currently available for only USA and Canada, and the word is more beta testers will get invites in 2021. So we recommend entering your email and home address to get your name in the list and receive updates on when Starlink service will hit your neighborhood. Who are the competitors? In addition to the OneWeb constellation, a 2015 proposal from Samsung outlined a 4,600 satellite constellation orbiting at 1400 km that could provide a zettabyte per month capacity worldwide, an equivalent of 200 gigabytes per month for 5 billion users. But by 2021, no more public information had been released about the Samsung constellation. Telesat also announced a smaller 117 satellite constellation in 2015 with plans to deliver initial service in 2021. Amazon too announced a large broadband internet satellite constellation in April 2019, planning to launch 3,236 satellites in the next decade, what the company calls Project Kuiper, a satellite constellation that will work in concert with Amazon's previously announced large network of 12 satellites ground station facilities. The planned large number of satellites has met with criticism from the astronomical community because of concerns for light pollution. Astronomers claim that the number of visible satellites will outnumber visible stars and that their brightness in both optical and radio wavelengths will severely impact scientific observations. Because of the Starlink satellites can autonomously change their orbits, observation cannot be scheduled to avoid them, whereas SpaceX representative and Musk have claimed that the satellites will have minimal impact, being easily mitigated by pixel masking and image stacking. And also, the second point of concern is that the large number of satellites employed by Starlink also creates a long term danger of space debris, resulting from placing thousands of satellites in orbit and the risk of causing a satellite collision, potentially triggering a phenomenon known as Kessler syndrome. To this, SpaceX has said that their satellites are launched at a lower altitude and a failed satellite are expected to deorbit within 5 years with propulsion. So the bottom line is that whether you already have access to the internet or not, the Starlink program will fundamentally change the makeup of the internet and the world once it comes online. It's important to keep track of this development as it will surely impact everyone on the planet in some way. So dear friends, first of all, thank you for watching this video and I hope you are equally excited for the world to change with Starlink. Please like this video if you found it informative and also I would request you to please subscribe to the channel for more such interesting and informative videos.